station, everybody, because we've got the great Herminio Reyes Jr. is in the house. Good to see you, man.
Oh, wait, that was the beginning. Wait. What happened? What?
What? What? Are you there? What?
What? Where are we?
What?
Are we somewhere? It's somewhere.
Is this the Batman show?
What?
Batman?
John Stout? Where is he?
John Stout? Where?
Where's John Stout? Station, everyone. What is going on for another Spider-Man show? This sounds a special show. I mean, there's nothing new about it. It's the same review show, and it's still the same. And there's just something different about this show today. It's I can't remember what it was. Maybe because we had my man here is gonna review Chasm. That's why it's special. He's gonna review Chasm, and then he's gonna review some Jackpot.
No.
Heck
no. Yeah, we're gonna have a little campfire, and that'll be the kindling.
Oh man, so no Chasm, no Jackpot. What could it be that we're doing today? What's gonna happen? Oh, I know. Some sort of a relaunch of a certain title for the seventh time. So here we go. The Amazing Spider-Man, #1 for the 7th time in the history of ASM. Numero 7.
Twins.
Flip yours over. We can put it together. Wait. Leave yours over. Yeah, flip it over. There we go. Now we can attach it together.
There you go.
I don't think he gets it. Okay. Oh man.
What? I can't see you. Can you see me?
Do I have to flip it over? And you flip it over back to the front.
Yeah, there you go.
Where does it go?
Yeah.
Is it like that better?
Wait.
I
Hold on.
think we had it better the first way. Oh, now it's backwards. Oh man, we just it's all a cluster right now. We don't even know what we're doing here. So welcome to the Big Herm Show and Primetime Tom, where we review the Amazing Spider-Man series. Of course, I just said #1, Volume 7. So on this channel, this is gonna be the third #1 I review. Oh man. The first one was the Nick Spencer run. Nick Spencer.
And by the way, Nick Spencer is back. What?
What? And the second #1 was Zeb Wells. And then now he's back. Oh wait, he's already been back, but that one didn't really count. It was like a 12 issue, and he didn't do all 12 issues, but it was really 10, but they added a plus. I'm confused already, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Joe Kelly, but this is the official #1, the official start of Joe Kelly's run. And of course, already legendary artist Pepe Larraz is in the house, which yes, so I can't wait to dig into this with my buddy here.
Pepe, are you there, Pepe?
Pepe. What? Pepe? What? Pepe? What? Of course, this is the A cover we just showed. I'm gonna give myself. Oh, yeah, Tom, get out of here, Tom. Yeah. Oh man! Of course, I had to get the B cover with
No.
the gorgeous black cat, as I showed
Ooh.
on the Blame Phable show
Whoa.
Friday night. You
Ooh
got
la
the
la.
nice jewels in the bottom and the ground. You got the cats on the side.
Ooh. Me, me,
It's
me.
all happy. You know what I mean?
Ooh, man.
Guys,
Ooh.
this is a PG show, so this is how
Hey, come on.
far I would go. Come on,
Hey,
come on,
hey, come
Tom.
on. Family
Behave
show. Come
yourself,
on.
man. Come on,
Come
what
on.
are you doing? Got a couple of people coming in kind of early, but they're like, that's
Competition.
early. Well, my man Eric, which is as early for him as it is for you, Tom, because he's all the way in the West Coast. West
That's
Coast,
right.
West Coast, West Coast. Yo, say West Coast in
Let's
the house.
go.
We got Kenneth in the house. You know what I mean? Hi, everyone in here
Yes,
today.
Kenneth.
How is everyone here today? And it says Tom breaks down the entire jackpot series. Make it happen. Tom, they're calling you. They're calling you. They're
No.
calling. And
No.
of course, a little
Hey, my
sleepy
buddy,
reader.
my buddy Sleepy.
What's going on,
It,
Sleepy?
it's kind of
Says,
early for Grandpa.
it
Grandpa getting up early.
says, I assume the new number one was the bargain price. Yes, it's not. It wasn't the $1 million number one people probably gonna want. You know what I mean? It's a another number one, but it's actually not really a number one. But volume 7 of a number one. But legacy number will be 965. I always gotta look at the legacy number. I always forget. But I
Man.
guess I think they think they're gonna sell a lot more of these if they just put number one. But according to you, you bought the last one in your shop, so I don't know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They missed out on sales because it's a number one. Everybody's specking on it. There might be a new character in here. You know what I mean? You might want to slab it. You know what I'm saying? But So before we go through all that, what happened?
What's that?
What's that? What? Oh, I thought you said something. My fault. My fault. But before we go through all that, I always want to ask you, because we like to chill and stuff. How was
Yeah.
your week?
Yeah. Not too bad. Pretty good. Trying to think, what did I do? Well, it's a busy week.
That's probably why you don't remember what you did, because you probably was very busy. I worked all week, you son of a.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping to go to one of the shops here in a nearby town because Big Lou, the OG Hulk, is supposed to be signing autographs today, but not gonna work out. So that's cool. And then at another shop, I missed Brian Michael Bendis. I'm like, come on, man.
See, Brian Michael Bendis. You just got there too late, man. What's wrong with you, man? Come on. You gotta get it early. You know what I mean? Just pretend you
But
were on the show yesterday,
I did see a pretty good movie yesterday, though. I saw the Amateur, which is pretty good.
Never heard of it. What is it? The Amateur?
Yeah, it's kind of
What
like
is it about? Is it about jackpot?
oh hell no.
Oh, I
No,
get it.
it's one of those. It's got that actor Rami Malek, and he plays like this CIA like tech guy, like a nerd, doesn't know how to fight, and
Oh, okay.
these
Okay.
terrorists kill his wife, and so he like
Uh-oh.
plots to get back at him, kill them all.
Oh, okay. Okay. I
Got
think I
Lawrence
remember
Fishburne.
when that was. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I saw a movie too. I saw oh, by the way, my week was up and down, up and down. Some shenanigans happening at work and more shenanigans tomorrow when I get there. But we don't want to think about that. We don't want to think about that. But, I got to do the Blame Phable show Friday night. Guys, checking that out in the rewind. We had a blast. It was a brand new show for us. You know what I'm saying? A brand new show for a brand new day. A brand new day for. Oh no, let me stop that.
Whoa.
Even though we didn't get to talk about the actual brand new day, new title that's coming up, for the new Spider-Man movie, the number 4. But I'm sure as more news come out and get ready to come out, we'll talk more about that here. But I got to see Death of a Unicorn that had Jenny Ortega in it, Paul Rudd. So you got Ant-Man and Wednesday up in there, you know. But they weren't playing those roles in this movie. It looked like low budget type movie. It was actually a horror movie. So like the fact that my wife came to me to see a horror movie, she does not like horror movies. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Of course, nothing's gonna really be scary because it's a horror, but things don't turn out good for some people when they mess with unicorns. So word out. If you see a unicorn, be nice. That's all I gotta say. Be nice, because things might go wrong. You might have a horn up here, you know what? But that's besides the point. This is a PG show. It's a PG show. Come on, Tom. Behave yourself. But
oh yeah.
I'm glad I went to see it. I'm a Jenny Ortega fan. Paul Rudd, he plays the dad and stuff. So there's some funny scenes in there, and we even got Adam from Adam Warlock. The guy that plays Adam Warlock in the Guardians of the Galaxy, third one. He was in there being a complete jackass and stuff like that. So spoiler, he got. And he deserved it. So
Spoiler.
Spoiler. That's the only spoiler I give you. But he got. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. But
he got unicorned up the.
Oh what? Oh, whoa! PG show, Mr. Tom, calm down. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get canceled up in here. You know what I mean? But I enjoyed it. It was enjoyable. It was a horror movie. Hopefully, if ever becomes part of the horror fest, you know what I mean. Hopefully, if Phable covers that movie, Phable, if you're watching, if you cover Death of a Unicorn on your channel for Horror Fest, I'm there, because I like being on Blame Phable One Collection Down channel. You know what I'm saying?
Heck yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So I don't know if the other guys will cover it. That's why I didn't say that. But keep on keeping on. Next week, what are we covering next week? So Amazing Spider-Man come out this week, and another one's not coming out next week, but they do come out every 2 weeks. So 2 Sundays from now, we're gonna do Spider-Man ASM number 2, and it's gonna be the third time I do a number 2. But it's volume 7 of a number 2. I already got confused with number 1. I'm already getting myself confused with number 2, but you guys know what I mean. But next week we do a certain series that we enjoy, and we'll get back to it because we love it. You know what I mean? We will cover the old Spider-Man number 9 and number 10, which, as we saw in the last few books, it starts to get really, really interesting, really dicey, stuff like that. Number 9 and number 10. So I can't wait, because 3 Sundays from now we'll do number 11 and number 12. And the 12th issue is my favorite out of the series so far. So I really enjoy that number 12 issue. So I can't wait to cover that. That'll be 3 Sundays from now. And we'll keep on keeping on to that series. By the time June comes, we'll be all caught up. And we'll be all caught up with both series. Can you believe that?
And coming up this Wednesday for my birthday, a special episode with Herm reviewing Chasm and Kane and Jackpot.
No, that was you. You told me you were going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the issues. You told me you bought the issues, and for your birthday, you wanted to cover that. You know what I'm saying? By the way, talking about birthdays, happy birthday to Nick Comic Culture. It's his birthday. So anybody who sees him or anybody, just throw him a DM or on his channel or whatever. Wish him a happy birthday. I'm sure he was trying to hide that. I'm sure he thought we forgot. But Big Herm did not forget. Happy birthday, my man Nick. And of course, this Wednesday, happy birthday, Mr. Tom here. Happy birthday, Mr. Primetime. Yeah, early birthday for Mr. Tom. And we'll discuss more about the Chasm interview you're gonna do, review a little later, But we're here to do a certain review. something, number one, but it's really number 965, volume 7. The third number one I'm covering. 3 number ones already covering in the past 5-6 years or whatever. I've been doing this, but here we go, man. Pepe Leraz, of course, I showed earlier. I showed again. The beautiful black cat cover. I had to
Man.
show it. I had to show it again. It's gorgeous. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Man.
I showed it. Let me show a bigger screen of
Uh-oh.
Tom disappeared. Tom, there you go. Bigger screen.
Boy. Woo.
You know what I mean? Woo, too hot to handle. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Let me bring
sleep your reader. Damien, keep your pants on. Don't get too excited.
Uh-oh. PG, man. PG. Come on. Get your stuff over there. Guys, if you guys want me to kick him out, let me know. You know what I mean? So, it's too much, let me know. Because it's not his birthday yet. If it was his birthday today, I'll be screwed. You know what I mean? But still not. But right here, number 1. Ding, 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 ding. I'm pretty excited. Of course, writer Joe Kelly. Artist Pepe Leras. Color artist is Marte Gracia. And letter is Joe Caramangia. I think Magna. I think I've been saying I said Caramanga. And it's not Caramanga, it's Caramagna.
Chimichanga? No.
And I don't know. So I'm probably saying wrong all the time, but those are the people's covering this one issue. And of course, there's 2 smaller stories Tom's gonna cover a little later. But we'll start with our guy Peter Parker in a job interview. We all know he's out of work. Seems to be out of work all the time. Dan Slott runs since the end of Dan Slott's run. You know what I mean? When he messed up everything, but he couldn't Parker up. So in this interview, he's like, hopefully in real life too. Well, okay, no, I'm reading backwards. I'm sorry. So this guy interviewing is like, I've been excited to speak with you, Mr. Parker. On paper, you're an ideal candidate. And Peter's like, hopefully in real life too. So he's already saying jokes in this interview. And he's like, ha, hopefully. And he's like, and then Peter's like, Belmatech. Recent work has been nothing short but groundbreaking, and I love to be a part of it. And then he stops and he's like, for someone so young, you live a hell of a life. As you see, he got Spider-Man getting bit by the spider, and Peter's like, yes, I've been very lucky, sir. Which is, I like it. They start revealing stuff that happened in his life. Some people don't like that, but remember, it's been a lot of runs, so them bring you back to some things that happened. It's kind of like the Stan Lee thing. It's like every comic is your first comic. Treat it like your first comic. So stuff like this, it's pretty cool that they bring back a little bit. You know what I mean? Not go overboard, but it's pretty cool. And then Peter's like, yes, I've been very lucky, sir. And he's like, lucky? The interviewer. He's like, it's one way to spin it. It's like, orphan adopted top marks to your master at ESU. And then he's like, but your doctorate was withdrawn because you plagiarized the work of another scientist that's back in the superior days when Doc Ock took over his body. So that's, they should have been a thing in the bottom saying that. Good job, Nick Lowe. But and then Peter's like, well, no, I mean, I can explain that. And then he's like, and the interviewer's like, the metrics rise and fall of Parker Industry was nothing short of criminal. And Pete's like, that are we going to discuss the job? And then you see in the bottom, like, the guy's like, the job is calling you a to your face. I lost millions, you. As you already know, it's a scribble scrabble in there because you're not supposed to. It's a PG show and it's a PG book. All right, Tom. So calm down.
He wants him to get unicorned.
And Pete's like, this could have been an email, and the guy's like, millions. So you can imagine which word he's using. You know what I mean? It rhymes with fork. You know what I mean? But and put the ing, 14. You know what I mean? But and then he's in another interview, and the guy's like, and I'm sure you were ready for this, but how would you describe your weaknesses? And Pete's like, hey, this is where I make it sound like a strength. Like I care too much about my job. And then it shows him uh saving some people, and while he's trying to save some people while a big boulder or something's falling, he's like, folks, a lot heavier than it looks. And the two people like taking pictures in the background while Spider-Man's trying to save the day. And he's like, yes, of course, say rescue. So he's telling Spider-Man to say rescue. And he's like, please run now. And this thing's ready to fall on them, but they're taking a picture. It's pretty funny. I like that. And the next interview, the interviewer is like, no, I want to see if you are aware of your actual failings. You have referenced like the record of spotty attendance. And SP's like, ha, noted. Which of my reference said that? And I guess that interview was over because there's another interview. And he's like, Tech, Peter's like, Tech is all about the bleeding edge, and I want to work on the edge. I'd also like a chair. And the guy's like, embrace the sharp worth startup grind, bro. I need a hands-on man. So the guy already said bro, so that's not very professional. So Pete goes on and goes, I am a hands-on man, bro. And it shows Pete in a couch as being a little clumsy, and he messes up his web shooters. And there's web shooter everywhere. And Pete's like, dear me, web shooter nozzles don't lubricate themselves. Thanks, Peter. And then another interview, as you see Peter's got a mark in his face. And he's like, and the guy, and Pete's like, with both of my chemical and mechanical engineering experience, I am an asset. And the guy's like, what the heck happened to your face? It's all messed up. And he's like, this is embarrassing and funny story. As it shows Sandman, him in the face with a sewer cap. And Pete's like, I'll never ride a city bike again. And the guy's like, right.
Pizza time.
Will you be willing to submit a drug test like now? And I guess there's another interview because he was like, I ain't submitting no drug test because he's got radioactive powers. You know what I'm saying? He's like, they're staying. So you see a bunch of people in the back of this next interview, and he's like, they're staying for the whole thing, huh? And the guy's like, you're a geek celebrity. Everyone's dying to hear the dirt on your last boss, Norman Osborn. And he's like, oh, he could be a challenging guy to work with. As you see in the background, Spider-Man and Green Goblin. And you see that in the background. And someone's laughing in the back, saying, ha 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 ha. He's like, super professional, guys. Totally cool. We're actually friends. Another interview. Looks like that didn't go well. Sometimes it's hard, finding a place where you're quirky and matches everyone else's. So he's saying in the interview. And the guy's like, well, no stranger quirky here. He's like, so sorry. And then he gets a call. And he's like, so sorry, my aunt's very sick. And the guy's like, family first. He's like, thank you, but I have to go together. And I got to go in the medical hospital. Bye. And the guy's like, what the? So he literally just left his interview. He like,
he gets a text message from Spider Boy.
And that was Spider Boy. Yes, not, that was Spider Boy. I'm sorry. Thank you. And of course, later, Queens, New York. And he's like, and he's with Aunt May's apartment. And he's like, 15 disastrous interview in 9 days. That famous Parker Luck is full effect, ruining lives since 1842. And Aunt May's like, I feel lucky. I got some extra time with you. Oh, so sweet. And then Pete's like, fringe benefits to being unemployed, Aunt May. I get to hang out with my favorite lady. And she's like, oh. And she's like, with clever wordplay like that, I can't imagine why you've been bombing. And he's like, ouch, but also fair. And Aunt May's like, stay for dinner. the feast volunteers are coming over for Rizzling Tortini and the Real House Husbands of Nova Scotia. What? And he's like, all three of those sound made up. And my man's like, oh, how do we raise such a uncultured swine? Damn, Batman. Wow. As Peter hangs up a picture of him riding bike with, I guess, when he first learned to ride his bike with Ben and Aunt May there. Which is, if you read the past stuff, they show, flashbacks of that. So it's pretty cool. And he's like, if tortini is just fancy stuffed pasta, I'm in. And Aunt May's like, wonderful. There's someone I want you to meet. He's like, Peter's like, hold that thought, because he gets a buzz. His phone's ringing. I mean, buzzing. He's like, hello, hi, no, maybe, yes. Sorry for yelling. Yes, thank you. And he lifts up Aunt May and he goes, how does supervising engineer of a corporate discipline and ran enterprise sound? And she's like, it sounds made up. Ha! You were saying about that Parker luck? Aunt May says. And Pete's like, actually, this was luck, just the good kind. The recruiter said an internal recommendation put me over the top. And Aunt May's like, you have a reputation for hard work? And he's like, love that you think that, but no. And he's like, remember Brian Nerling from middle school? And then Aunt May's like, yes, I do. So she's not digging the name.
Mm-hmm.
As we go to the next page, and he meets up with Ryan Erling, and he's like, who gives a bunch of genius sixth graders access to the chemical closet? And then did he throw it? And he's like, history and a lock of I can pick with guts of a mechanical pencil. Say yes. And the Nerling bomb was born. And then that's what Pete says. And then Nerling's like, it took a week to air out the school. Pete's like, it was a month. And then Nerling's like, because you a second time, the latest thinker in the AC duct. Diabolical. And look at us now. And look at us. And now vanguards of science, saving the world. As Brian keeps going on, he's like, you're gonna love it here, Parker. This place is real deal. All the mad sciences with an extreme healthy dose of social responsibility. And Pete's like, I can't wait, but I have to know. It's been almost 15 years, Brian. No one fought that life before. But why did you vouch for me? He's like, ouch. You really don't remember. Come on. And it shows a young Brian Erling with broken glasses. And he's like, think they'll know I was in a fight? And someone's, you crazy, man. He's like, hell yeah, I am. The Freaktastic Four forever. And Pete's like, wow, haven't thought of that. And you hear a boom in the background. Pete stops. And Brian keeps walking. He's like, me neither. Then I saw your application that it was like, whoosh, get that wild man in here. He's like, figure if a delinquent like me could make good, you deserve a shot too. And he's like, and Pete's like, you won't be disappointed. And Brian's like, you don't have to impress me. And you hear more booms as Pete looks out the window. So you see Pete looking out the window, and he's like, and then Brian's like, turn it on for the big boss. And Pete's like, you have to be kidding me. And then the guy's like, opens the door. He's like, Doc, new guy here. Go easy on him. Okay, Parker? Peter, me. And then he's like, never mind. As Pete ran away.
Yo.
And the boss, which is a lady boss, and she's like, are you seriously wasting time messing around, Nerling, after the last review? And he's like, I am slow to learn, man. Because there was more boom, boom, boom. As we find out what the boom was about.
Cool.
The big rhino is causing havoc yet again.
Now that is an awesome spread.
Hell yeah, that was gorgeous. That was gorgeous. And Pete's like, if someone was holding a pressure cannon to my head, I think I could list off your most admiring qualities. Strength, speed, make slate gray, work in all 4 seasons. Impeccable timing will not be on the list, Rhino. As he starts getting a little mad. He messed up. He's like, I really wanted this job. On the top, it says that. And Pete's like, do, 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 in action, kicking Rhino. He's like, yourself, Aliski. Fighting you was not on my bingo card today. Something is wrong. Aside from the obvious derailment of what could have been a really, really cool job, the Rhino's been relatively chill for a bit. And that's, anybody who's reading the history know the Rhino, like, he stopped doing all that villainous stuff. So it's kind of weird. And then he's like, muscles for hire, sure, but a baddie you can talk to, this is new. And then there's a truck there, and some guy's like, Spider-Man, thank you. And Spider-Man, no problem. He's like, hey, do you have an emotional attachment to this truck? Because he takes the door out and rips it out. And the guy's like, after 20 years, of course. And Pete's like, oh, cool. Were you going to say something? Okay. And then Rhino starts charging towards him again. And then he's like, then 20 years, then I'm sorry for your loss. Because he's going to lose his delivery truck. This is going to hurt. Top of my spider strength, but it's partially shoulder dislocation for a ramping Rhino. I'll buy extra ibuprofen tonight. You see the truck crash. Well, I was kind of confused because I thought they were on the regular street. I guess they were on a highway, but the truck crashed. And I don't know if you thought the same thing, but I was a little confused. But Spidey's like, "Are you ready to talk? Cause there's a double decker right over there." And Rhino's burst up. He's all over the place. It's crazy. And then Spidey's like, "Give me a hint. What's the problem? The horn monastery you like, monasterized you like, is on sale. Hot sneaker drop, size 72. Glass tickets. What is it?" And then you see Rhino's like, and it seems like he caught a heart attack, and he falls down. And Pete's like, Aleski, what happened? He's like, oh my God. He starts listening to his heartbeat, see if he's dead. As he's like wondering what happened. He's like, 1, 2, 3. So he starts some CPR. He's like, there's a strange thing that's happening sometimes. Laser heat ray millimeters from my face, no pressure, falling from 40,000 feet within a without a shoe. I'm sorry. Sure, it's Monday. He's like 1, 2, 3 as he keeps pumping his chest. But when I can't find a pulse, panic scrapes at every molecule in my body. CPR like trying to net a block of concrete, because Rhino's, brick, you know what I mean? Strong. And his body shield. He's like, and my arms are already killing me. Hands are sweating. Tom, as he tom. And he's like, heart's pounding in my ears, but not the heartbeat I want to hear. Womp. He keeps pumping. He keeps trying to get. And it goes. So we don't know if Rhino recovered because it goes straight to the next situation. Next scene. Meanwhile, sorry, I should have just said that. Kinsley Towers, corporate home of Kinsley Unlimited. As you hear, the article continues. Rhino survived thanks to the intervention of Spider-Man and is expected to make a full recovery. He's like, begging the question, should New York spend valuable resources on medical care for the Rhino? And a figure in the back goes, do we know where he's been held? He's like, Ravenclaw, I'm already intercepted the blood work. And the guy's like, don't keep me in suspense. And the guy's like, the marker are present. He's a customer direct 11. I don't know what the hell that is. And the other figure was Kingsley. And he's like, one would expect someone of his skill set to live in a better part of town. Something to remember next time we need big dumb muscle with a sweet tooth. Monitor intervene only if the compounds are in danger of discovery. And he's like, hit the windows on your way out, would you, Simon? And the guy's like, as pleases, Mr. Kinsley. See you tomorrow. And Kinsley starts talking to something else, and he's like, speak freely, he's gone. And something else is like, you're concerned? And the guy's like, the rhino has no clue what he did to his own body. And the staff at Ravencroft aren't winning at any Nobel Prizes in biochemical science. I'm clear there. But Spider-Man has more than a hero's punches, big dumb idiot relationship with the rhino. The heart attack may trigger suspicion, and suspicion might trigger investigation. He's like, will be a problem if I add him to your to-do list. And the guy's like, and Kingsley's like, that's unsettling. And the guy's like, sorry, quick self-check. I promise I'll never lie to you. I'll give him the treatment he deserves in a most professional manner. And the guy's like, Kingsley's like, outstanding. Make sure you dress to impress. I have an image to oppose. As you see, the suit with the pumpkin bombs in the back, the hobgoblin suit. As Kingsley's looking at. But I don't think that's who he's talking to. He's not talking to that. Next scene. So we don't know. I guess they explain the rhino's okay and stuff like that. Next scene, they're at a restaurant or a bar. There you go, bar, restaurant, whatever, one of those. And this weird lady, she's like, "This is so much fun! I love the city so much, yay!" And she's like, "This wine is so much better." So you kind of see she's kind of drunk, and she's like, "Yeah, we love it too." Oh no, that's Randy. He's like, "Yeah, we love it too, Bree. Let's make sure they don't kick us out." And she's like, "You're funny, Randy," he says. And she's like, "I said, Randy, you're a bad listener. How are you a therapist?" And he's like, "Social worker." And the other side of the table, as you see her craziness. You see the other side of the table. Shay's there, and she's like, "To swiping right." And Pete's like, "I'm not accidentally picking the belly booger bean. Cheers, Shay." I don't know what that was, but okay. As someone goes, "So you got fired on your first day?" Oh, that's Bree. "So you got fired on your first day?" And he's like, "Shockingly, no. Brian told the boss about my accelerated colitis, and we are trying again tomorrow." And she's like, "Oh, first day diarrhea, been there." And Pete's like, never mind." And Shay's just laughing. And then, of course, and then Pete's like, "The guy's like my guardian angel because he pulled some pranks in middle school." He's talking about Brian. And Randy's like, uh, "Send him my way, please. I need an angel. Full moon isn't for weeks, but my caseload has been madness." It's like clients I've known for years are slamming doors in my face. Family, people, good people. No one in East Harlem itself. And then Pete's thinking in his head, he's like, home to the certain Russian rhinoceros. So he's thinking, what's going on? And Bree's like, Shay, you two are not brother and sister. Boyfriend and girlfriend? So Joe Kelly and his brother and sister thing back. You know what I mean? Kind of like MJ. It's like a brother. It's like a sister to Peter out of nowhere. You know. But
come on, Joe. This is a family show. Come on.
It's a family show. It's a family. It's too weird. I want to keep it family show. But anyway, Pete's like, yeah, I mean, we're not exclusive, Shay says. And then Pete's like, we're not? She's like, you're still on probation. And Pete's like, that better than that's better than it's that good. He's like, depends on you, Parker. And Randy's like, check, please. God, check. As Bree just falls apart and falls down. Randy's like done with her. And Pete's like, to probation as he toasts with Shay. She's like, I'm in, brother. Right there. And in the next page, you see Spidey. I guess the party's over. Web sticking. As he starts thinking. Randy's coincidence is probably just that. Clients in East Harlem acting weird around the same time a stable-ish guy freaks out. But it gnaws at my brain. What is it? It's not a coincidence. Can't help but feel like it's worth a friendly neighborhood B&E. So he starts checking the right apartment, and he's like, the apartment is still standing, so Rampage didn't start here. This isn't the sort of place where opening the fridge is going to reveal the hidden passageway to a rhino lair.
Oh no!
And then he's like,
boy.
but the low hum of my spider sense is reason enough to sniff around. So that it looks like his spider sense are starting to go. He's like, Rhino was anyone else, I could write his Rampage off to a host of problems. But this guy already has his worst day. He's trying to move on. And
That's
as
not
you
good.
see, it's like when his beloved wife
That's not good.
was killing way back in the classic Amazing Spider-Man 625, as you as it shows you. So it does give a reference there. As Tom disappeared. Let me get a quick sip. So Spidey's like, yes, he's wrecked things for more money, but he's not crazy. And a heart attack. That's not the guy. As he starts looking around.
Sorry about that.
You okay over there?
Yeah, we were having a little connection issues, but I fixed it.
Okay, cool. Spidey going around with his Spidey his light, the Spidey light that he's had, famous Spidey light, and he don't feel so good suddenly, and his Spidey senses is going bananas with cheese, and he's like, Spidey says it's really loud, it's making me nauseous, but there's nothing here. He goes really loud, then he just sounded my breathing heavy and pounding. And it's like, then pow, he's like, heart. As you see, a nice spread of, it's like he sees every villain he has, Carnage, Mysterio, Doc Ock, Hammerhead, Tom's favorite Chasm is in the back, you know what I mean? The Green Goblin, Shocker, Morbius, Electro, Vulture, everybody. Yeah,
Sleepy
man.
Readers there?
Raving, Sleepy Reader,
Yeah.
Nine Planet Grid, they're all back there. I mean, they're all villains. And then that's it. That's dun, dun, dun. We'll see what happened in part 2. All new Amazing Spider-Man number 2. From volume 7, even though it's my third number 2, but it's the 7th number 2. You get me.
You mean after your third visit to Taco Bell? What?
Yeah. What?
Number 2? What? No.
What? I got to do number 2? Wait, what? Anyway, back to the issue. So, what you think of this, Tom? Be honest.
Yeah. That was a quite an interesting ending cliffhanger, and it got me wondering what was going on with Rhino that made him have a heart attack? And the same thing was happening with Spidey. It's like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah. But
And
you were telling me you were pretty confused. You had to read it a couple of times to
yeah,
really understand what's going on.
and we talked about this a little before the show. Like I was kind of on the fence about Pepe's art and stuff.
Yeah,
But then,
no, that's not gonna be popular with some of the audience. I can't wait.
but as we were art again, and then I was looking at the art again, and I saw that Rhino, that Rhino spread, and then all the enemies at the end. I was like, okay, yeah. Pepe's not Pepe Le Pew. He's cool.
Pepe's great, man. I'm excited about his art. Always
That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah, because he was like, you're talking about you like JR's facial expressions and stuff like that. You wasn't sure
Oh.
about Pepe Le Razes.
Oh no.
Am
Did I
I
lose
losing?
you? Great.
Who are we losing? Me or him?
All right, let's try this. I'm gonna try. I'll be right back.
All
Gotta
right.
fix this.
Messages. We'll be right back. What does we? That was earlier. Of course, my mom says hi. Eric's like, Tom's off reading Chasm. He just didn't want to get caught, so he turned off the camera. Understandable. Paper art felt off to me. Not bad, but it didn't feel quite right. It's looking like Tom might have felt your way. Eric.
Sorry about that. Another internet hiccup there.
So Eric's kind of agreeing with you a little bit.
Huh.
Like a little bit about his art off a little bit there. I like the art. I thought the spread and all that was good, but I understand what you're saying. He's done like X-Men like that, so I don't know, maybe it gets better for you guys in the next issue or something like that. Supposedly he's in line to do the first 6 issues. At least that's what I saw. But yeah, man. But I thought, okay, so my thoughts, like, I've seen a lot of different. Usually, you see like 50-50 on what people thought of this number one and stuff. It was almost universal. People actually were liking it. You know what I mean? Also people who haven't read Spider-Man in a long time. But when you have people who know the history, who's went through the stuff, most of those people are skeptical. Most of the people are not sure about it. You know what I mean? Or it's not nothing. Nothing here happened that's new. Obviously, Parker Luck, job problems. Of course, the Rhino's not a new villain, but when you do a number one, you don't want to just throw a new villain right there. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You try something different. So I thought it was fine with the Rhino in there, showing some action and stuff like that, some comedy up in there. I thought for a first issue was well done, not groundbreaking, not blow your socks off type that stuff. Which is I thought it was fine. It was a good issue. Like I said, a lot of people who started reading this again enjoyed it. I don't think you need to wow people right away. You don't need to show all your cards off either. Let's try to do it different here. I know Nick Spencer had a big splash with his number one. And show all the different things that's gonna happen in his run and stuff like that. They kind of, and I think Zeb Wells kind of sort of did something similar to it, but you saw him go to the Tombstone, the next issue and stuff like that. But in this one, you saw him more show Spidey action, and then you saw there's a new villain, as you see, pretty much in the background. Everybody's wondering who this guy is now. I myself had to do a second read because I was a little confused myself. And I did a second read too. But all in all, I enjoyed the issue. Of course, I'm skeptical too. I'm like, it's Joe Kelly, so we went through that eighth death stuff, but we're willing to push that aside for now. We just want to see if Joe Kelly actually tells some people want some new stories, and that's one thing that's pretty hard to do, uh, especially as Spider-Man has been around for so long. Um, I'm hoping, I'm hoping that it keeps on keeping on, and we get some fresh stuff in here. As you see, we got a fresh villain. So I don't know if you call this a cameo of the new villain because he's in the shadow. So you already know, with the whole Hulk thing, which issue's right. You know what I mean? Or Venom, which issue's the right Venom. You know what I mean? Probably get that with this character.
Ugh. Venom and MJ. Don't get me started.
So yeah. So if I had to give this one a rating for a first issue, I'll give it a 3.75 because I thought it was pretty good. It was a good book. It was good. Um, if you were looking for great, you set your bar way too high. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think you're gonna get that with the number one right here. You got a little setup here, and then we gotta let the guy cook, I guess, and we'll see what he does in this first arc. What grade you give it, Tom?
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a little lower, but I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I thought it was, I thought it was decent, pretty good. You had a good balance of, you know, Peter Parker struggles with no job, and trying to balance, life, and then you got the, balance with Spidey, fighting, the Rhino, and had some action there, and yeah, it's a pretty good art that I warmed up to with Pepe, and yeah, I thought wasn't too bad.
All right. So here you go. So your average, my average goes up. When you count it,
Huh.
it might be 3.69. So, but we're not done. We're not
What?
done.
What?
Nope. 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 Nope.
What? Oh, that's right. You're get ready for your chasm review, right?
No, no, no. You're getting for your jackpot review. You know what I mean? The stories, the next stories, two little stories. Tom's gonna cover.
All right. So the next stories we got okay, Mr. Joe Kelly again, but we've got the return of a well favorite, not so favorite of some people. 50-50. Mr. JR. We've got our inker Scott Hanna. We got Mr. Marcio Menez, the color artist, and of course Joe Caramagna. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, so this part opens up with a press conference at Oscorp. And so we see, Norman, he's like addressing the people in the audience. He's like, shareholders, members of the board, and of course the press. He's like, contrary to popular opinion, I do not like the sound of my own voice, especially not my laugh. And then he's, kind of, looking for what to say next. He's like, not the arena for levity noted. He's like, Oscar has faced many challenges of late. Some external, most have been self-inflicting wounds. He's like, since the last upheaval, I spent many sleepless nights considering my relationship to Oscorp. Then you got a reporter like, sleepless nights over your relationship? What are you talking about? And he's like, there'll be time for more questions. And then you got this crazy guy in the audience holding up his phone with a picture of his wife. He's like, I stay awake talking for my dead wife, Sandra Peterson. You probably don't remember killing her. Laughing. Next thing you know, he's like, like, cyborg popping out. He's like, Give us the laugh, Norm. Let's hear the goblins laugh one last time. And he's like, firing a charged up cannon at him. It's like, Sic semper monstrum. So he's like, he's like ducking, and the guard's trying to grab this guy. And then he's like, the cyborg guy is like, you're everything wrong with this country. A literal monster who lives above the law because of wealth. And Norman's like still ducking from the attack. And then the guy's like, pay for your sins, monster. And he throws the podium at him. Like, bam. And Norman's like, how dare you? Not in my house. And the guy's like, in a daze. He's like, her name was Sandra. Her name was. And then you see Norman just going full goblin, like the guy's arm off. He's like, how dare you threaten me in my house? This is my building. He's like smashing the guy, going full goblin. And then he's like, midway through the beating, he remembers a conversation he had with Spidey. Spidey was like, there's a bunch of people who want to see you pay for the past, Norman. He says, I should be, on top of that list. Maybe even number one. And Norman's like, yeah, fair. And then Spidey's like, but people can change. When they give themselves the space to believe, change is possible. He's like, your mind is clear. Free for the first time since you became the Goblin. Maybe the first time ever. Is quitting the best you can come up with? And Norman's like tossing the cyborg's arm up into the air, realizing, that maybe this was not the best thing to do during a press conference. He's like, get this man the attention he requires. He's like, is anybody else hurt? And then he's like, I was going to resign today. He says, but that's not the best way I should have gone. He's like, but a friend recently reminded me that those who have abused great power, if given the chance, have a responsibility to make amends. He says, I don't know how, but I'm going to atone for these sins of my past with whatever tool I have. This is the mission of Oscorp. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it for that one. Yeah. You want to go into the next one, or?
No. Let's talk about this real quick. So Norman was gonna quit. As we hear, some psycho comes as the punishment for what he did in the past. So his sins past comes back yet again. You know what I mean? And this guy's wife, he lost his wife, and he's this mechanical thing, whoever invented that. So I kind of want to know how he became this robot. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's anything, but that might come back. And I'm guessing this is going to be part of the next arc or something like that.
Right.
Where you can be like, okay, I'm not quitting. I'm going to continue the job. So this just means that the Norman character is back in the play. Green Goblin is not dead. It's looking like he might return yet again. So I guess they're keeping that book open. And I don't know how much more Green Goblin stories you can tell for all the years, but when you have the same thing with Batman with the Joker, every once in a while he does have to come back. When he comes back, that means money. Pretty much the same thing with the Green Goblin. When the Green Goblin comes back, it's in the news. It's in whether people like it or not. One of the greatest characters. A lot of people say Doc Ock too, or maybe Doc Ock put him through the worst. But pretty much both of those characters are the two characters that you're gonna bring back. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I thought it was okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was expected. It was a decent little story at the end. You know what I mean? Like they show you like his past probably come back and try to bring him back to being the evil guy. You know what I mean? So maybe all those sins that was taken away come back in. Who knows? But
Yeah.
it was all right. What you think?
Well, once again, we as we were facial expressions of the characters. I think JR is excellent at that. Other people think, well, his art leaves a lot to be desired, and respect to that too as well.
We we
We're
saw.
open to everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
Good. But yeah, it's interesting to see, like you said, that they're not going to close the book on the Goblin. But that whole, I don't know, the whole sins of the past thing is just like, oh, come on, really? Can't we just, bury it and let it go? And if we're going to bring Norman back, at least let him have at least maybe one happy moment. But obviously, he's still got the Goblin in him, so I understand that.
He wasn't supposed to, but
Yeah.
I don't think you could take the Goblin completely out of Norman. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. But people were affected. People were like the guy's wife died because of him, so people are gonna want revenge. People turn bad, turn evil. They're gonna go after him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what good you did. What you did in the past will come back to haunt you. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. That's just how it is. It's kind of like in real life when a celebrity gets in trouble for something or something he didn't do very good. It'll take years for people to not maybe forget that, but amends for something that they did.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Eric said, "Here comes the all new, all different Paul review."
Oh, what?
He
Who?
wants to start fights
What?
again. You know what I'm saying? He just
What?
wants to start rumbles. You know what I mean?
What?
Who? Who?
Who? Who? Paul. What? Who?
All right. So we got one more little story. So let us know what happened in the next little story, Tommy.
Yeah. What would you? I'm just curious. What would you give that little section as a rating? What would,
I mean, I wasn't gonna give it a rating because it's only like 3 or 4 pages. So I don't know if we could rate something like that, but
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's long enough for a rating. You know what I mean? But if I have to give it something, um, 3.2, I guess 3.2.
Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't interesting, so it wasn't horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw the guy on a rampage. You saw a little bit of action there. And Norman did try to find out if everybody's okay in the crowd and stuff like that. So it was
Yeah.
decent. You know what I mean? What
Yeah.
would you?
Yeah, I'd give it, along those same lines, probably like a, 3.25 or 3.3.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Story.
Anyways, you would say, let's keep on keeping on.
Keep going.
So we got this, we got this new little snippet here. We got this, I guess we got this archaeology group led by this woman archaeologist. And you got one of her assistants, and he's saying, the magnetic patterning is odd enough. I'm sure your phone's been going wild. And then the doctor's like, the archaeologist lady's like, but it's the micro burst of cosmic radiation that had me freaked. And the assistant's like, you're suggesting that something in this formation can attract the magnetic shieldings of the Earth? And she's like, I promise it's not heat stroke, but I don't have a better explanation yet. And this is all taking place in Arizona. And then you got this guy, I guess he's like the cameraman named Hermes. He's like, the heartbeat of the tree. And the doctor's all annoyed. She's like, damn it. I've known less determined cockroaches. She's like, Hermes, we told you this is a private site. And he's like, yeah, public lands and public funds would put you here, Doc. But it's that private school horse pucky that's mucking your ears. And then moving on. And you got Hermes holding up this book, the camera guy. He's like, these rock formations are actually petrified tree trunks. And then the assistant's like, fascinating. And the cosmic rays? And the doctor's like, don't encourage him. And then the Hermes is like, oh, another seeker of truth? Well, the indigenous people were wise. And he's like showing like this, like these like theories or whatever in a book. And Hermes is like, obviously they didn't know about radiation, cosmic or otherwise, but they had intuition about energy coming from this so-called rock. He's like, the radiation is coming from the tree. And then she's all like, the doctor's like, well, perfect, I can retire now. Cosmic radiation comes from inside the earth. And then she's like, don't be a jerk, man. He's anything but harmless, but yet annoying. And the next thing you know, you hear this boom, and the earth is shaking, and you hear boom, boom. And there's like some kind of earthquake, and everybody's like, I guess probably buried alive. And then you got Hermes, mostly covered. He's like, doctor, and then you hear this vroom, 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 and he's like, sweet Mother Mary, it's true, it's all true. And then, he's like, the tree, the heartbeat, the hellgate is open. What the heck? And then you see this guy in armor, like, whoa. He's like, what's this hellgate thing? Is this the hellgate person that he's talking about? Who is this guy?
There's a nice looking guy. Nice looking little villain there.
Oh, yeah.
The knight. Looks like a big guy from the past.
Yeah.
But that's going to be part of it. That's like a little preview of maybe that's going to be part of the next arc. It's just another part of the story that might happen somewhere in the future.
Yeah.
But maybe that Hell's Gate guy is going to be part. So I guess this is the first cameo appearance of that Hell's Gate guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
I should know who he is if he isn't new, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought, all right, this is part of a story, a little story, not much to talk about in it, just that they open up this dude that's gonna ruin lives. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
hopefully he takes out Paul before he fights Spider-Man.
Maybe he'll take out too. What?
Oh man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He takes out powers, you know what I mean?
I was curious, so I asked artificial intelligence, ChatGPT it's called. I was like, so I was curious. I'm like, who's this Hellgate guy? Because since I'm getting older, I can't really remember too many storylines from the past.
Yeah.
But apparently it was saying that Hellgate's like a new creation from Joe Kelly. And for some odd reason, this creature he's hellbent on defeating Spider-Man for some odd reason. So, yeah.
Cheated. You went to AI. Cheater. I guess. But, yeah, I guess. But so far, the first issue, we ranked it already. We're very optimistic. We didn't hate it. We like some of it. You know what I'm saying? I got Tom hated Pepe the Ross's art. That's okay.
Hey, come on. Come on then.
But I'm telling you, like he'll probably improve more and more. Like I said, we're getting next 6 arcs, next 6 issues. At least he's in the plan to do. That's why they took that little time, that 3-month time for the 9 deaths, so he could do that arc. And I guess JR do the arc after that. I don't know if they're all going to be 6-issue arcs. I don't think so. But
I hope our boy Ed McGuinness comes back.
I hope so. He's not in the plans. I mean, he was in the plans to be a part of the series eventually, or at least that's what I thought I saw. But maybe they have him doing something else. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I hope we didn't see the last of the Ed McGuinness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe he's doing a rec rap series. You never know. Never know.
Hmm. Hmm.
Most people are like, yo, don't do that. I'm like, why not? Why not? I would love to see a rec rap series. That'd be, but a nice little 4-issue series. You know, why not? Maybe they'll do a one shot. You know what I mean? I'll take it. I'll do it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Maybe
I still
include a
want.
rep figure with it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I still want
Like
my
a
Marvel Legends, but
yeah, Marvel Legends. Yeah.
we need him and Juggernaut. You know what I mean? Those are, you know, and Cosmic Spider Man. You know,
Oh
not
heck
Cosmic
yeah.
Spider Man. Sorcerer Spider Man. So I
Yeah.
want them all. But that's it. So I hope you guys like that. And of course, if you like that, you like a lot of things of our silliness, our clowning around, and future review of the jackpot from Mr. Tom here, hit the
Man.
thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ding 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 that bell notification for future videos as we get awesome people. Also, anybody from the Backlot Bros. What is that? What's the Backlot?
What?
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 What? All my friends and all that, friends of the show, their links are in the box below. Check them out as we continue on every Sunday here to review some Spider-Man. And not just amazing, we also do the ultimate. And coming this summer, as we get caught up with the ultimate series, we want to do a couple of historic series, kind of
Hmm.
like Craven the Last Hunt. So
What?
we will cover that eventually, which there's so much reading for the past comics that me and Tom will probably tag team on some of those issues.
Yeah.
One of us will do the first half of the comic, the other one will do the other half. Kind of because I was thinking about it, I was like, wow, this would be hard to do. We probably won't read line to line. It'll probably be half clean and half of what we did with the ape deaths, where we tell you what happened, because it is a lot of reading. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And hopefully I will finally find on my expedition Web of Spider-Man 31. That's the only one I'm missing.
Where will he find it? Find out this summer. I'm probably gonna get. I have all the issues, but I don't know if I want to use the issues, or I might. I don't even know if I have one. Get a trade with the
Yeah.
whole series and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and cover it with that. But I had to pull out all the issues anyway because I would love to show them. But we're only doing one issue. It's a 6-part issues. I think it's going on with Amazing, Spectacular, right, and Web. I think all three of them.
Hmm.
Um, so that should be a lot of fun. So hopefully people will enjoy that, and then we'll think of others. If we enjoy that, we'll think of other historic
Yeah.
series we can do for Spider-Man.
And then Herm will take on the 16 issue arc of Maximum Carnage by himself. No, I'm just kidding.
Imagine trying to do that. That would be fun. That'd be
Oh yeah.
fun. That'd be fun. Like one at a time. That'll take us a while because we're doing the main series. We're doing Ultimate, and then that'll take a while. But I wouldn't mind reliving that. You know, I do have that. I do have all the issues of that. I do have it in omnibus form. But if we're gonna do that, I'll probably get the trade for it if it's still there. You know,
Yeah.
I triple uh what do you call that? Usually double dipping. This is triple dipping. Um, but that's my. It's probably the most wild series. Like you probably read it now, and be like, damn, what were we doing and liking this when we were kids? But I don't care, man. I can't wait to do something like that. But that would be a good idea.
Oh yeah.
You just gave us a whole hurdle right there. Whole. That's gonna be
Oh,
a lot of work to do those. You know what I
you
mean?
know another? I just had another good idea. We could do the miniseries Transformers versus GI Joe. Or
Oh
wait a
no,
minute.
that's
Never
not
mind.
Spider-Man related. That's not Spider. That's another show. That's another.
Whoops.
Too much in our plate, man. Too much in our plate.
Hashtag blame Phable.
But next week we're covering Ultimate Spider-Man number 9 and Ultimate Spider-Man number 10, as you show in the thumbnail. We're doing that next of the week. Next of the week. As soon as my freaking thing here, if I could show you the thumbnail, boom, next week. Ultimate Spider-Man 9 and 10. Can't wait to with you.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, so while he's back, he has to get. I know why he probably wasn't ready. He told me he was ready, but son of a, you know what I mean. But I don't have anything for this week, but he does. But we're going to a certain favorite segment that we do. You know you want it. You gotta have it. Some of that show and tell. That beautiful sight. Sorry guys, my voice. I'm losing my voice again for some reason. The weather was raining and stuff like that, and I was just like, oh, I just hope I don't lose my voice again. Hope I don't get sick again. But are you back? Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Jesus, man. You know what I mean? It's like he wants to be on here forever. You know what I mean? Have a 9-hour show or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'll give you the floor as you do some show and tell.
Yeah. So this is speaking of action figures and Marvel Legends, and we both love the animated spirit series of Spider-Man. This is one villain that we actually talked about in ASM number 1, Joe Kelly. And this is one I had to have this because he's classic. And of course, who is that? The Green Goblin.
The Green Goblin. Yeah, it's gorgeous, man. I have a copy of that. I have one. Yeah. The one I don't have is the Hobgoblin. You have that. I'm jealous.
Yeah. I was pretty excited to see him in the wild again. I was like, whoa, where'd he come from?
Yeah.
And but yeah, they have they also had they had Chameleon, Kane, the female version of Electro, which was like, why did they do that? Why the female? but yeah, I was pretty excited to pick that up. So
what's wrong with a female Electro? You got problems with women? You know what I'm saying? What?
Come on. No.
We got the Big Herm Show with Primetime Tom has been canceled. That's it. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for putting up with our silliness. Again, much love to everybody out there. Have a great week. Always know, man, you have a rough week. At least you could do something with your buddy. Stuff like here. When you have a rough week, great weekend. But Friday night, I will be on the Phable Show yet again. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then catch us here again, 12 p.m. East, yet again, next week. Let's do this, yo. Happy birthday to Nick. Happy birthday to my man, Primetime Tom, here on Wednesday. And I guess I'll see you guys next week. We all see you guys. Making my mom laugh here. And yeah, thank you. So, station to you all. And see you next week. Peace out. Pew, 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 pew.